Hello, testing. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Small technical issues. Thanks for dropping by. Hey, Dark Sid. Hey, Anonym. Hey, Pappy. Hey, Adrian. Feel free to unmute yourself, guys, or if you've got any questions and your microphone's not working too shy to come on chat, feel free to DM me and I will answer them here. Greg has a question. No, that's not from today. That's from before. Hey, Encrypto Bob. How's everyone doing today? Enjoying themselves? It's always a good day over here on Thoreum. Let's load up the charts and see what today looks like. Can everyone hear me all right? Looks like we're still above a penny. It's nice to see. Looks like we've managed to flush out a few paper hands as well. It's always encouraging. Let's open the price charts, see what's been going on. Yep, just loading up now. Looks like we've had a couple of big whales sell off actually. That's interesting. Wow, one huge dropped us down from 0.108 all the way down to 0.104. Good riddance. Anyone that wants to get out, welcome to it. We'll just eat up that tax, supercharge the Thor account, give ourselves some more stability once the mining's finished. Yeah, looks like we've had a couple of drops off. Disappointing to see, but no worries. When I saw those whales hopping in yesterday, it gives real confidence to the project, to be honest with you. Those guys don't hop into things that they know aren't going to go crazy. You guys that are listening, if you've got questions, feel free to DM me. If you don't want to turn on your microphones, if you've got any questions or... Oh, Adrian, sorry. Are we doing an open FAQ first time in this video calls? Are we doing an open FAQ? There is an FAQ from the main developer, Zeus. He did an AMA a little while ago. So you can log into that and read it. Most questions I'll have an answer to, and if I don't have an answer, I know the guys that do have answers. So feel free to post them to me, and I will either get to answer them or I'll get them out to the people that do have the answers. Hey, welcome. Adrian is asking, my question is about current gas fees on hot pools. What's the issue, bud? Notice it's about 5 USD at the moment. Yeah, the Binance Smart Chain is really popping off, and it's reflecting the gas fees. We don't actually control the gas fees from the project side, so we have very little that we can do other than tell you to hang on. I know that you're saying not that high on other platforms, so you're 100% correct. We have quite a complex contract, that MasterChef 2. It's got a lot of safety procedures built into it, and it makes it quite a complicated contract. We expect gas fees to drop down, and you should get you should be able to do transactions a lot cheaper. But yeah, you can just hang on. Wondering if transaction fees interact on gas fee. I was wondering if the transaction fee interacts on gas fee. No, the transaction fees is totally different. If the gas fees are too high for interact, as in like multiplication, but not just additive, the transaction fees is different to gas fees. If the gas fees are too high for you, the good news is that currently the reflections that people are getting for holding Thoreum in their wallets is actually better than APRs for even the best of the pools. So unless they drop a hot new pool today, which might be worth jumping into. But there's a few guys that are starting to track the information quite reliably, and it seems that the people that are holding in their wallets are actually doing very, very well. Adrian's posting. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Just unstate. Very interesting indeed. And whale protection. Yes. I mean, we've done the audits already. We're really ramping up the security on this one. And there is great whale prevention technology built in. I mean, the tax being as high as it is very anti-whale in itself. We were doing some maths in the chat yesterday, and it seemed that even with that huge spike that we were getting, you would have to, even if you sold right at the very top and then rebought right at the very bottom, you wouldn't actually break even, which is just crazy. So, and that was assuming you were able to, pinpoint exactly the highest point and the lowest point, which is just impossible. And all the time when you're sitting waiting for that low point, you're not getting any reflections because you're not holding anything, and you get no Lambo tickets. Oh, Adrian, you are chatty too. Let me read your next one. Very interesting. Word protection. Yes, that's really my only issue at the moment on the project is security exploit as in Cerberus. Otherwise, it's very interesting mechanics overall and game. Yeah, Cerberus and Garuda were forks of a previous project, and when the hack came out, it affected both of those and the other forks from that previous project. It wasn't just us that got affected, and all the developers can do is hold their hands up and say, they mistakes were made. We're going to do better in the future. It was why they were so adamant to get it's done before they properly launched, and they're continuing to check the security of it now, and really, made it very, very airtight. Otherwise, it's very interesting mechanics overall in game. Yeah, well, we appreciate that. We like to keep bringing out new products for you guys. It seems like new tools are always exciting, and we've got some new Thunder Boost pools lined up for you because we know how much you guys like that. So you'll be able to stake Thorium and receive other native tokens from other projects. We've got a few in the pipeline, which will be excited to announce on the main page soon enough. Hey, Berlin. Thanks for dropping by, mate. Just going to chuck something in the main chat. Just remind people that we're here. See if we can get some excitement. Oh, thank you, MrJ. That's cute. I had a little meme for my voice chats, and I can't find it. So I'm just going to steal other people's. Yeah. Adrian, I think you were typing. Otherwise, very interesting. How far can you curate the pools boosts that are introduced? It is semi-automated, determined by code, or you alone? Well, it's not me. There's a big development team behind this, and they are working every day to bring out new products which are exciting and better for that suits the user base better. So you can already see that in the short time that we've been live, we've moved from static pools to dynamic pools. And you can see from both of those that there are elements of the API there that is automated, and it's built in based on the number of users, the period that it's been open for, the amount of funds that are allocated to that pool, and then there are manual elements which are highlighted by that big multiplication. So if the developers really want to push one of the pools, they can set a higher multiplier for it, and that will, and that's obviously there to attract people in. The dynamic pools have added features built into them which should maintain the APR, a more favorable APR over a longer period of time. It doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get an average APR, but one day it might be high, one day it might be low, but over time it should average out. Adrian's asking another question. Once a pool is launched, can it be changed manually besides the dynamic features that are built in? No extra funds can be allocated, if that's what you're asking. Can it be changed manually? The only thing that can be changed is the multiplier that's attached to it. That's as far as I'm aware. I mean, the variables, yeah, the multiplier, yeah, but the multiplier is clearly advertised. So, or even fees. When you talk about fees, are you talking gas fees? Because no, there's nothing we can do about gas fees. It's purely based on the transaction fees. You're talking about gas fees, the B&B that you have to pay to interact with it. Yeah. Oh, the 40%. Okay, the tax. Yeah, tax is very interesting. It's one of our key features here. It's very tax. No worries, mate. It's a lot of terminology. I appreciate it, and I'm sorry for the people that are listening in. They're getting one side of this conversation, trying to read out what he's writing, but it's very strange having a one-sided conversation by yourself. So the tax here is super interesting. It's a very important feature for keeping that Thor account pumped up, and it gives us so much stability with its buy and burn mechanism. We actually asked the user base early on if they were happy with, I think at the time it was 10% or 12%, or if they wanted to go to 14%, and almost unanimous, everybody pushed to push the tax up. But we're actually very lucky to have such a dynamic project where we can turn on the tax, we can turn it off, we can boost it up, we can drop it down. So that's why you see certain ones like the Vaults and the Thunder Boost pools with no tax, and it gives us so much usability down the line. If we wanted to, have a credit card, for example, we could have an entirely separate section of the system where the tax was turned off, so that we could have a credit card with no tax built onto it. But the he's just messaging me. I'll try and finish my what I was saying, and then I'll read the question. So yeah, the tax can be turned off and on. It's very important that the tax is there, and that we continue to burn, because that's, as I said, everybody that's holding in their wallets, that's how they're getting their reflection. So it's an important dynamic. Do you have a vision for when the mining will be done? Maybe a critical mass cross token? Oh, you're going down the right road. I'm not saying that there's definitely a credit card. What I'm saying is that these other, we call ourselves SafeMoon 2.0, and there's a reason for it. SafeMoon are now trying to set up their exchange and now trying to, move across to credit cards and things like that, but their programming isn't there, so they're having to do it, from the other end of the horse, whereas we've already got the programming built into it. So if we want to turn tax off or the tax, we 100% can. You need to read the AMA from Zeus, because he hints at a lot of the things that he's planning: cross-platform integration and AMM, and he's made it very clear that Thoreum is the store of value for the platform, but it is not by any means the last step. There is definitely going to be projects after the mining is completed. I can envision, for example, another coin that gets released that has a buyback burn mechanism on it, which actually, if we call that coin Zeus coin, for example, there would be a transaction tax on that coin. Let's say it's 10%. Of that 10%, maybe 1% will be used to buy back and burn thorium. So even though the mining on thorium is completed and maybe the diamond hands have got hold of every last piece of thorium, there is still going to be an increase in the value of that token, because the buyback and burn of all the other tokens that will be on the platform will still be looking to buy back Thor and sell it. Where can I see this? All I know comes from the white paper, basically. The AMA from Zeus. It was in the pinned posts, but you can just Google AMA Zeus Thorium, something like that, and you can. It was in two parts. There was a small part that was released one day where he talks about the security of the last project, and then there's a full 10,000 word AMA where he goes through a lot of the questions that the users have been having, and a lot of interesting stuff in there. So if you've got a couple of hours, it's worth a read. Hey Gotham, hey Berlin, hey Wilco, hey Anonym, hey Adrian. Someone's got to have a working microphone. I can't be sitting here for 2 hours chatting to myself. I'll go mad. But if you guys don't have working microphones, you've got questions, feel free to shout out, and I will. I'll read them out here if you DM. Oh, Adrian done it again. I would, but I'm new and learning. Oh, don't worry about it, mate. It's fine. We're all new and learning. I'm still learning. Learning is best. I'm actually just making a YouTube tutorial for liquidity pairs on Thorium, and I haven't done it in a little bit of time, and you get used to the way that you like to do it. So for me, I've got a Samsung phone and I've got Trust Wallet, and I on there, and I 2 or 3 clicks, liquidity pairs paid, stake done. And I was asking around which platform people are using and things, and everyone was saying, oh, I want to start on PC using MetaMask. So jumped on my PC, minted up some Thorium and some USDT, and then my brain just went to absolute mush. I was like, how on earth do you do this? The video is going to be so choppy because I'm sound confident, like I know what I'm doing, and every 5 seconds I'm going, how the bloody hell do you do this? I'm having to go back through it and relearn. But it'll be a very in-depth video, that's for sure, because I literally have to relearn the whole process. Adrian's got another question about the size of the project team. I'm not actually privy to too much information from that side. I do know that there's a development team and a lead developer, and then from the moderator side, we're a heck of a squad now. That I can give you some information on. 1 second. 37 members on the moderator side, so it's quite a force. And there's people that are outside of the direct circle that are integrated now, I guess. So the people that are doing the advertising for us and helping us with shilling and things like that. So yeah, it's quite a big old team. Oh, hey, Sepran. Apologies if that's. Oh, well, he's gone, so I don't have to apologize to him. He'll never know that I mispronounced his name. Sunday evening, everybody excited to go back to work tomorrow? Enough crypto for one weekend? Let's see what's going on. Few sales, few paper hands getting out. That's fine. See you later. You won't be missed. You'll never get back in at that price point. That's for sure. By the time you've paid your tax out and your tax in, you've got no chance. And thank you for the reflections. Of us that are holding in our wallets, expecting the sale. We're just every time one of those big sales comes through, my Thoreum that I hold in my wallet just absolutely jumps. So thank you very much for the free tokens. Oh, it's Moderator City in here. Hey, Furite. Hey, Gotham. Hey, Berlin. Thanks for dropping by, guys. Adrian's on it again. It's funny because the marketing visual of the project is very flashy, but it's actually a rather defensive holding project. Although the Thunder idea is a pretty cool way to put it. Yeah, it's got a strange dynamic to it. We kind of want, engagement with the user base. So it's important to us that people come online and fill the chat, and it's why we've been pushing the voice chat so much, because we really want to build up a sense of community. And at the same time, the whole project is built around, buy your Thoreum, stake it long term, come back in 3 or 4 months, and make your money. So there's definitely some strange dichotomies that we need to work out. For the marketing visuals, you're seeing going forward with side projects as well is good indeed. Yeah, it's not side projects, because the Thorium was always built to be the base what's it called, value holding unit. So if you imagine that, that's like going to be the gold standard for the project, you're going to need it to interact with anything that's going to be on the platform. But those that are here from Garuda and Cerberus sides know what these developers are able to do. It's really just it's just a matter of how long it's going to take for the mining to get done. That's really the only aspect. I mean, said uses to complement build an ecosystem. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, they've got the skills. It's really just implementing it in a way that excites the user base, doesn't flood too much. A lot of people come online and they see all the pools and everything, and they get a little shook by all the options. So trying to keep it streamlined enough while also giving enough options. Yeah, red mining will decrease like a logarithmic function, I guess. So if you go to the main page now on Thoreum, if you go to the homepage, you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's a helpful little information section there where it gives the raw numbers from that the site's kicked out. It's something that the user base has been asking for, so the developers have implemented it, and you can actually see the amount that we still have to mine. And there is a calculation by a few of the users that estimate that it'll take around 2 months to complete the mining, although there is very definitely a chance that as we get closer to that point that the mining will slow down, so it might get extended to 2.5, 3 months. But I think long before that, you'll start to see they won't want people to be getting scared because the mining is coming to an end. They'll want to start showing people that there's going to be a use case for thorium after the mining finishes. So they'll be dropping in the new projects relatively soon, I would imagine. More messages from Adrian. Yeah, I read many. Oh, that's one. Yeah, 1 or 2 months at yesterday rate I saw, but I believe in white paper it was the mining rewards would decrease and there's less token mine. Yeah, you're 100% right. So it will definitely slow down as we get close to the end. But you know, a deflationary token, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. If the number keeps reducing down, then it's okay that the number to mine as a percentage of the that's out there will be even-ish, I guess. It's fine. The price keep going up. Yeah, I mean that's what's amazing. That's really the part that gives us so much confidence in it, right? Is that we seem to hit these like levels of resistance, and yeah, the way we was on a whales yesterday. It was the squid squad came through yesterday and gobbled up a bunch, and obviously pushed the price up. And then we've had a bunch of paper hands that are crashing out. But both of those actions, both the whale buying and the paper hands crashing out, there's tax, so that tax is giving reflections to everybody, but most importantly, it's giving reflections to that Thor account. I haven't actually checked the Thor account today. Let's have a look and see how much stability we've got sitting in there. Yeah, I mean 1.25 million US dollars worth of BNB sitting in that Thor account. So that's constantly being used for small buybacks and burns every time someone makes a sale over 1,000 thorium, and it's used for those hammer falls. There's no plan to stop either of those anytime soon. So once we get to the point where the mining's finished, the those buyback and burns will still continue to push up the price. And if people want to stake thorium to gain whatever the new token is, they're going to have to buy it off one of us that are holding. So for sure, it's going to push the price up. Adrian's still chatting. Excellent. Thank you very much for all the questions. It's much better than sitting here in silence. I wish I had been earlier to get all those reflections back and stack mass thoriums. I mean, it's such a tried thing to continue to say it, but it's still early. I mean, if this thing goes to $1, well, not if, when this thing goes to $1, everyone that's been quibbling about 1 penny or selling at one penny and 1.2 pennies, they're just gonna feel like it's gonna be so silly. It's arbitrary at the point, right? I mean, even 2 pennies, even 3 pennies, it's just silly to be looking at it like that. So yeah, I mean, if you've got the funds, still look to get on board. As I said, right now, just holding in the wallet and taking advantage of all the activity is really nice. I mean, I'm still spread out across all the projects. I did actually harvest my Thunderbolt 1 because somebody was saying there was an error with it, so I'm not in that, but still in Thunderbolt 2, still in Thunderbolt 3. I'm in my safe earn Thirst. I've still got tokens in nearly every thorium in in Midgard, And yeah, you've got a few liquidity pairs, so it's very, very interesting. And then still holding a nice stack in the wallet, and that one's growing nicely also. So yeah, don't feel bad if you just got you're still early, still plenty of time, and there's still plenty of mining to be done, even if it takes 2 months. Hey, Dewan, thanks for dropping by. Aaron says, yes, it's all about transaction volume, in my opinion, and getting those taxes coming to reward holders, reward fidelity. Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, the vaults are there to lock your funds away in case you do have a case of the hands. You can't be trusted to hold them in your wallet. But if you're strong enough to not sell when you see spikes or dips, for sure, holding them in the wallet at the moment is great. I think later on, as the what's it called, transactions starts to drop down, or more people start holding in their wallets, then there's each one's going to receive a smaller percentage of those taxes those reflections that are being distributed, and the APR from the pools will look better and better. But right now, that's certainly the line that I'm pushing. Adrian asks, that's where I don't know. It'll depend on other users for the token and marketing. Transaction could blow up or fizzle. I think we've got a strong enough user base now. The number of users grows every day, and the developer got an enormous advertising fund. I mean, I log on to PooCoin, and every banner is Thoreum. It's impossible to get away from it. So, and they have no intention of slowing down anytime soon. And if they once they go towards the next step as well, there's going to be a huge drive for whatever that is. It will again bring a lot of users onto Thoreum as well. So I don't think it'll fizzle out. I think there's enough people now. Again, it was an important part of the advertising was to push it as being SafeMoon 2.0. So it really instilled into people that the people that were going to do well were the ones that were going to be long-term holders. Adrian's asking, why reward in SafeMoon safer? By the way, I would assume they're direct concurrent. It's actually really interesting. I was on the same page as you. I couldn't quite understand the way that it works, but basically, the team that's in charge of choosing which projects we align ourselves with are very picky. It's not just a matter of somebody that comes up to us and says we want to partner up. They've got to be accredited. They've got to have a good history. They've got to show that their coin's stable, and that their audits are coming through, and they're coming through, and they've got to have a good history and all of these kinds of things. And once they've done those things, the hope is that when you align with another project, that you get something, that each party gets something from the transaction. So they have a very strong user base over there. It's very active. They it's a bit of a hype coin over there at the moment. So we certainly grabbed a bunch of their users, and they've come across, and they're keen to earn SafeEarn because it's their native token. So we're telling them, look, you want SafeEarn, buy Thoreum, you'll get SafeEarn and you get your SafeMoon. But obviously, initially they have to purchase thorium. So that's great for our users because there's a bunch of tax and that gives reflectance. For their side, coming on board with us, they get enormous amounts of exposure. They get to piggyback off of our advertising, and they, our clientele gets exposed to their project as well. So it's kind of a I scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of thing. But I don't think that they would do it with direct competitors. It's got to be something that brings something to the table. And one of the things that was super exciting for us was the idea that you were basically going to get paid out in 3 different tokens, which I can't remember, and not just 3. I mean, it would be easy to pay out in 3 tokens, but 3 legitimate tokens. So you hold thorium, you get safe earn, and when you unstake and when you harvest your safe earn, you start to get safe moon as well. It was we thought it would be very interesting and something that would get the user base excited, and it certainly seemed to work. It's that pool is so busy. Adrian's asking, it's a bit confusing because the white paper trashes safe and makes good points, yet offer to get safe moon. Is safe moon promoting thorium then? It's nice, yeah, it depends on the token offered. So we're not actually working with safe moon directly, and the any negativity towards them might just be a language barrier. We've certainly got nothing specifically against them. The only thing is that we it's very clear to us the limitations of that project. Their tax is hardwired in at a base level, and there's advantages and disadvantages that come with that. Obviously, it's less it's clearer to the user base. Example, it's very easy to see your reflections coming in and where they're coming from. So for someone that's first time into DeFi, I can certainly see the advantages of it, but that's really where the advantages of something like that end. Everything else about them we're better at. We have a use case for the tokens afterwards, which they don't have. So when you say is Safe Moon promoting Thorium, then Safe Earn is who we're working with, and Safe Earn have a tokenomics where their reflections are provided to their user base in Safe Moon. There's plenty of projects out there that provide similar product. I was in called HODL for a while, HODL, and they had a tax there, and then they used that tax to purchase BNB that then got airdropped to the users. It's pretty dead token now. Don't bother looking at it, but I think that was the first one I heard of that was like that, and it was obviously very attractive because you held HODL and you got paid out in BNB, which is obviously has great use cases, so it was good. And SafeEarn have just done something similar. They have a tax system there, and there must be a transmitter in there somewhere that is swapping out the tax SafeEarn for SafeMoon, and then airdropping that SafeMoon out to people. It's a similar feature to here. The tax here it accumulates, and then periodic to a certain point it gets sold for BNB, and when we do the buyback and burn, it transfers that BNB back to Thoreum, then immediately to the address. Oh, Adrian again. How regular are those video calls? Weekly? These ones, this voice chat that you're talking about? I think it's this that you're talking about. The users were asking about. So what we're doing at the moment, right? Yeah, it's something that the users were asking about. So we are trying to roll it out more and more frequently. We really want it to be rated. We don't want it to be a free for all. I've been on plenty of tokens where the the text chat is very positive and everybody's gaining something, and then a couple over the voice chat, and it doesn't useful at all. But it's really up to the user base. So we've been doing it every day, different time. It seems this one is not a great time slot. No offense to anybody that's in here, but it might just be because it's Sunday. We've had a couple of slots at this time that's been fine. At the moment, they're kind of taking on a AMA style format. That's not necessarily where they'll end up. We'd love to have you guys jump in and just chat away, and it doesn't have to be about coin. It can just be about anything at all. But this is the kind of format that it seems to have taken on at the moment. So at the moment it's daily for around 2 hours. We'll trial it for another week. Just watching the official group to see the timings. I try and post up the next timings immediately after one. Greg again. Sorry, Adrian again. Any YouTuber that follows is invested in the token we can gather around follow. Shout that out in chat. I haven't seen any big YouTubers or Instagram people that have followed it. I always find those are a double-edged sword, to be honest with you. I mean, it's nice to have the exposure, but I've seen it, spike the price of some tokens immediately, and then a bunch of people sell off, and it crashes down to a point where it's just possible to recover from. So other people, it's nice to see new all-time highs and new prices going up and these kinds of things, but for me it really doesn't matter. Like, unless you're looking to sell, the value of the token is just a bragging rights. It's just ego at the moment. I'd much prefer that it stays stable and we keep onboarding new people, and my holdings keep increasing until the mining ends. Because again, if you read that AMA with Zeus, the maths for what's going to happen to the value of the token once the mining is done, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, you're talking. I mean, he shows a very clear roadmap to a dollar per Thoreum, which is just crazy. I mean, low scale YouTubers who have crypto content strengthen the community and keep it going. It can be good too, like Barterton, Conglomerate, or Crypto Mischief. We're not adverse to it. Absolutely not adverse to it at all, mate. If you have ins with these guys, we can work out partnership programs with them. It's the best part, it seems, is getting their ear in the first place. They're so risk averse, the medium sized ones. There are a few that have what's it called, organically found us and really enjoyed us. I know that if you hop on YouTube and there's a bunch that come up, but the best thing you can do, what a bunch of the Thoreum army are doing at the moment, is just jumping into YouTube channels and just spamming Thoreum. At least it gets people's eye on it, right? And if it's a new coin that's just launched, people might get a bit angry about it. But if they log into it and they see that we've been there for a month and something, and we're a legitimate token, then they're more likely to come and check out our white papers and everything, right? Barter is working with Trip at the moment, but a few could be an option. Yeah, but as I said, we're not averse to it. So if you jump on their pages and shout out Thoreum all the time, DM them if you have them on Instagram and let them know about us. And if you do get in contact with one personally, you can DM me. I'd be very happy to speak to any of them. Hey Andrew, thanks for dropping by. If you want to unmute yourself, feel free, or if you don't have a working microphone or you're too shy, you can DM me directly and I will shout out your question here.